interesting topic. It's about the defense of Sabo Dasuki, the Goodluck Jonathan angle. I have to weigh in again on the current corruption trials as it relates to the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, and the former National Security Advisor, Sambo Dasuki. You will recollect that in a recent statement credited to former President Goodluck Jonathan at Oxford University, UK, he claimed Dasuki did not steal $2.1 billion as claimed by the current government. On our part, we do not think that there is anything that could be hard to break. We want to lay our blame on the current government for going about the anti-corruption fight in a selective manner. By records available to many Nigerians, many of those on trial for pilfering public funds made it clear that they acted on the instructions of the former president, Goodluck Jonathan. It is therefore a travesty of justice that the man whose the box tops on his table has never been invited by the anti-corruption bodies to clear the air. Yes, Goodluck Jonathan might know more than we imagined, but we must be quick to state that his last statement of defense in his Oxford University release is at best a form of twisted logic. This is why we say so. In his defense of Sambo Dasuki on trial for criminal diversion of military arms purchase funds, Jonathan claimed the $2.1 billion was not stolen, and in fact, they bought arms for the military. He made mention of fighter jets and other ammunition bought under him. Here is where he missed the point in our opinion. We believe, of course, arms were bought, but the scrutiny and the crux of the issue is about stolen funds. The question here is, if arms were bought, then how much was stolen? Claiming arms were bought cannot explain stolen funds. We believe this is a deliberate twist away from the main issue. This is very clear considering that many of those on trial are voluntarily making refunds of stolen funds and in billions too. Isn't it clear that this stealing happened under the nose of the former president? Meanwhile, based on facts, Sambo Dasuki has not denied disbursing huge sums through his office to individuals to procure votes for the ruling party PDP. He also made it clear that the funds under investigation were disbursed by the authority of the Commander-in-Chief, Goodluck Jonathan. What kind of logic is being applied in the fight against corruption when some are sacred cows while others are held bound to face justice? Back to the failure of the current government. Fighting against corruption must be done in a convincing way for it to make any sense. There is no excuse tenable today that can cover the shine away of the security agents from putting Goodluck Jonathan on the spot for questioning. Yes, there was a peace committee, the peace committee. The principal actors here are former head of state, Abdulsalami Abubakar and Reverend Father Matthew Kuka. The body language of these two individuals is easy to read and clear to understand. They are not in support of the current anti-corruption crusade, especially when it comes to putting to question the looting of our national wealth as it relates to the links to the former President Goodluck Jonathan. For them, we should simply bury the past and move forward as if nothing happened, while few characters stock their accounts with millions of dollars that could have put healthcare and good life in the lap of ordinary Nigerians. Yes, the peace committee prevailed on the former president to accept the results of the last election. We say yes, that is what is expected. A man that is defeated in an election must accept defeat. That is a minimum standard in any sane country in the world. Because many African leaders are insane, cannot be reason for all of us to lower our standards. We must therefore not manufacture arguments to lower our standards simply because there are so many leaders with twisted mindsets that prefers to plunge their country into chaos than allow or accept a fair election result. Under no circumstances must we subject ourselves in Africa to the twisted logic of celebrating or awarding titles to everyone that has simply complied with the law. Some even argue, why call a former president to question in relation to stealing of public funds? Have other presidents not been stealing before Jonathan? Yes, other presidents before Goodluck Jonathan has been stealing. Now, we ask you too. Isn't stealing an aberration to credible leadership? If you agree, won't we start this journey to sanity someday and somewhere? If Goodluck Jonathan is not credible or bold enough to probe the corrupt past he met, must that stop the present administration from probing the corrupt past? Don't be lame in your arguments. Corruption is an aberration to democracy and a clog in the wheels of civilization. We must start to make people account. Our leaders present and past must not be exempted. Buhari will not be there forever. Let whoever that comes after him institute a scrutiny of his administration. We will be better for it at the long run. Your ethnic, religion, or political interest should not be a factor in preaching the good of all. To you, Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, if you are going to award immunity against prosecution for a former president who is obviously being fingered by several looters refunding stolen money under your nose, then you could as well do the same for every citizen that has chose to go through the current hard economic climate by striving to survive and refusing to steal or act against the law of the land. If you think protection against prosecution is good for a former president that accepted defeat in an election, then same must be good for all responsible citizens that pays their taxes and perform their civic duties too. Why we are not unmindful of the thinking of many that is to the contrary to the facts being scrutinized here, we must be bold to say that a president that accepted defeat in an election is no way better than other citizens that has played their part in obeying the laws of the land. It is either the current government decides to fight corruption and be holistic about it, or play around with selective justice and mess up our goodwill eventually in the long run. It must be clear that over 70% of those that worked extra hard and voted in the current government were filled with the hope of enthroning a ruthless fight against corruption that is almost burying the country. It is therefore not acceptable seeing those that contributed and germinated the current harsh economic climate walk around free, while their subordinates are held down to account. It is becoming a mess hearing the anti-corruption agencies like EFCC claiming they freezed millions of dollars in the accounts of a former first lady, even after the admission of the suspect that she owns such accounts that has run a BVN not linked to her name. Yet the suspect walks free and even goes ahead to test the intensity of the anti-corruption will of the government by suing the EFCC. The current situation is an aberration to justice in all ramifications. Gosh, is this government suggesting that if such amount is found in my own account as Olubumi Abuda, under same circumstances, I will be allowed to walk free to continue to make political statements? In conclusion, we would advise the current government to either fight corruption sincerely or chill out. It is dishonorable applying different measures to different individuals under the same criminal justice system. The selective actions of the current government as it relates to the applications of anti-money laundering laws has turned it to a laughing stock. Well, I'll just say that.